Hey guys, I'm Oxy and this is my immortal melee build. This is a full health melee build and the whole principle is to make it to be basically immortal. Now this build is completely immune to radiation damage, to melee damage, fall damage and to most type of damages in this game. So if you like this kind of videos, don't forget to press the like button, maybe to subscribe. I do have a Discord server, I do have Patreon, and now let's see the build. So let's start with my mutations first. Obviously we are a melee build, so we do have carnivore, we do have electric archer, marsupial, plague walker, speed demon, talon, twisted muscle, and unstoppable isotope. Now carnivore because meat buffs are the best ones for any type of melee build. Electric charge and Plague Walker, Unstoppable Isotopes, those are working extremely well with this build. Marsupial and Speed Demon are standard mutations for any type of build. Talon and Twisted Muscle for extra melee damage. Also, speaking of buffs here, I do have a couple applied. This build is working extremely well with any type of buff that is boosting endurance, health regen, strength, and maximum HP. And let's see my specials. Those are my specials, but keep in mind that all two specials are gonna be boosted from legendary armor, perks, and also buffs. Let's go to the weapons and see what kind of weapons we do use with this build. Since it's a full health melee build, I do like to use anti-armor weapons. Obviously, we're gonna use a power fist. Anti-armor swings with +1 endurance, +1 strength is doing really good damage, really good armor penetration. You can use any type of power fist that you want, from aristocrat, I don't know, instigating, whatever it's suiting you, whatever you like, but just be a power fist that is gonna work well with this build. Vampire is also a pretty good choice. Another power fist that I do have, it's one with power attack damage. We can use this one against really tough enemies to get some extra damage out of it. I do have also a shotgun. Now you can use any type of shotgun. I did choose the gauss shotgun. The main thing is you have a gauss shotgun on this build to have either limb damage or VAT hit chance. You need these to cripple squash beasts so they gonna land and you can just power fist them to that. So yeah, you pretty much need a shotgun just to cripple the enemies that are flying. Also, we do have a vampire knuckle with swing speed and +1 strength because I really like knuckles and actually they are really good weapons. Now, the armor is one of the base for this build and I do have two armor sets. Now the first one, it's a full solar armor set and the second one, it's a full heavy metal armor set. Now, the difference between them is quite obvious. First of all, the metal set is going to offer you overall more protection. Now, the solar armor set does have a set bonus, which is going to heal you and your teammates if your health is above 60%, which is actually really good. Now, the problem is that the solar armor set is going to be much more expensive to craft because you're going to need vault steel. Now, the heavy metal armor set, it's not gonna cost you any vault steel, but it's still gonna cost you obviously legendary modules. So here, that's why I have two armor sets to give you a choice what to use. Now I would say that both of them are at the same level. Slightly, I would say slightly, the solar armor set it's a little bit better because of that stat bonus. Now let's see the armor set and what makes it to be so good. So as you can see here, I do have a troubleshooter armor piece with +1 strength, food and can weight reduction. The main thing is that I have it as troubleshooter, so I'm gonna get minus 15% damage from any type of robots, which is actually really good. Now the next piece that I have, as you can see, this one it's against Milorks and bugs, and we also have reduced fall damage. When we go into the next piece, you can see that we do have a life-saving piece with AP refresh and food and can weight reduction. So even if we're gonna get down, we have 50% chance that we're gonna get up. The next piece, as you can see, it's a hunter's one with +1 strength and reduced fall damage. So at this point we do have two pieces that are reducing fall damage, so we are completely immune to fall damage, and we are negating damage from Milorks, from robots, and from animals. And the last piece, as you can see, it's a zealot one. Again, this one have poison resistance and 5% chance to deal 100 poison damage to melee attackers. Doesn't really matter. The important thing is that is zealot. So we are reducing damage from any type of scorch enemy. So this is the whole principle of the build. You don't need a perfect armor set. You just need to choose a certain type of damage that you want to negate, like Milorks, or maybe you want something against animals, or maybe something against Corchhead. It's really up to you. Maybe something against robots. But another important thing is to have obviously a life-saving armor piece with this build, which is gonna give you 50% chance to get back up if you're gonna be downed, and also to have two pieces with fall damage. So you're gonna be completely immune to fall damage, and even if you're gonna get down somehow, you have 50% chance to get up, and you're gonna obviously negate damage from multiple type of enemies in this game. Is the same thing with the metal armor set, right? As you can see, from robots, animals, scorch head. Then we do have again two pieces with fall damage and one piece which is life saving. Now let's go and see the under armor. I do use the shielded secret service one. This one is giving you more strength, perception, and endurance, also giving you a little bit of radiation resistant, doesn't really matter. And the backpack is with the chemist mod. Now let's see the perks that we're using for this build in order to make it work. Pretty standard strength with incisor, martial artist, blocker, iron fist, barbarian. Perception, we do have concentrated fire because we do have a shotgun. We do have grenadier, which is making the explosive area of the legendary perks much more bigger. Pretty standard endurance, it's life giver, coolish. We need that because this build is working really well with radiation damage. Also adamantium skeleton and fireproof. Pretty standard charisma with field surgeon, strange in number, standardizer, intelligence first aid, and demolition expert, because we do use explosive melee perks, agility, action gear, born survival, gunfu. It's working extremely well with melee weapons if you're fighting multiple targets at the same time, adrenaline to stack up the damage. Here in luck we do a bloody mass for more damage, strange genes to keep our mutations, and Grim Reaper Spirit because we do use a lot of VATs with this build. But you can change this up for something else that you may like. There's other perk cards that I do recommend here to be. Mysterious Saver can be quite useful if you don't have a life-saving armor piece on you. Also, this one, Mystery Meat, this one is just good overall to farm meat. I mean, you can just put up this perk card, go in the White Spring golf club, and just, get hit by ghouls, use a steam pack, and you're gonna get a bunch of meat. Also, Ricochet is working quite well, especially if you're using a vampire melee weapon or range weapon, is gonna heal you when it's gonna ricochet back the bullet. Another good perks here in endurance that I would recommend you maybe to put it in your build, it would be photosynthetic, can improve health regen between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And also this one sunk is quickly regen radiation damage between the hours. This one can be also quite useful, especially if you stack it with ghoulish. So those are just some extra options for you. Now let's see the legendary perks. Those are the most important ones for this build. Obviously we do have legendary strength and endurance on max. And what rads? This is the most important one. Plus 300 rad resistance, restores 6 rads per second. This one in combination with ghoulish is just so good. because this one it's healing all the radiation damage, and Ghoulish it's a bird card that is healing you when you take radiation damage. So this is a really good combination. We do have Hack and Slash and Explosive Palm for more explosive melee damage, and we do have Taking One for the team. When we're playing in a team, we're gonna just do more damage overall. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, the build. There is some flexibility here in endurance, in luck. As you can see, the strength, perception, charisma, intelligence, and agility are pretty standard ones. But what makes this build to be so good is the combination of the armor set with the legendary perks and with Ghoulish. And this is it. This is my full health immortal melee build. Let me know in the comment section your opinion about this build and overall your opinion about melee builds right now in Fallout 76. I still think that melee does need a buff in Fallout 76. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and see you guys in the next one.